Thank you. Okay, class. Just check all of their names and their enrollment numbers, and students are requested not to do any chats. If they are found chatting, disciplinary action will be taken. They won't be allowed to attend from the next session onwards. No private chats among yourself. From today onwards, we are having difficult laws. Question answer session will be there last 45 minutes. And those who don't answer will be given 0. Kindly listen. These are class assignment marks which I'm going to judge. These are the class assignment marks which I'm going to judge. Okay, class? Yes? Yes, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi.
ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am. Good
Yeah.
afternoon, ma'am.
So, last sessions were easy sessions, business laws, the contract laws, the sources of law, the classification of law we are done. From this session onwards, it's going to be extremely tough. The last 40 minutes, 30 minutes, I will be asking 30 random students in 2 batches, 15, first 15, both the CRs. When I read out the name, you have to write down the names of the 15 students. Okay? Melina, are you listening?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
After my lecture gets over, the last half an hour, 15 students will be called out. Their name, the girl's name, Melina will write. The boy's name, Jatin will write. Question which I am asking them, the question, all of you mute yourself, please. The question which I ask, you have to write down there. If they have answered, you need to write answered. If they have not answered, the observers will answer that particular question. And in case they're answering, I'll be giving the marks to them. So first 15 will be called. Afterwards, next 15 will be called. So 30 students will be randomly called out for the question answer session. Otherwise, I cannot judge your class assignment. So kindly start writing down your points. The entire class need to write down the points. From today, we are doing extremely tough laws. We're going to start the contracts, employment contracts we'll be doing. We'll be doing the partnership laws. We'll be doing the limited liability partnership, which is an extremely important question for your syllabus. And also I will be introducing you to the amendment laws of Indian Companies Act 2013. This particular question answer session will be related to the last session also, plus today's also. So just see to it that you all are writing down. I don't want any excuses. Your name will be shown 0 over here. So start writing down contracts and employment contracts, a very, very important topic for your exam. Class, can I start? All of you have
Yes.
All of you have your notebooks with you?
Yes. Just 1 second.
Please have your notebooks, your papers, your pens, because from today we are starting tougher laws, which are there for you in your day-to-day. From next year onwards, you all are going to become executives. So your interview questions will also be based on this. Your interview questions will, whether you're marketing, whether you are HR, whether you are finance. These are some of the basic aspects which they want to ask you. The panel will be asking you. So I want you all to be strict and really serious the next 1.5 hours. Yes. So we will be continuing with the last session of, we have done the special contracts, we have done bailment, we have done pledge, we have done the law of agency, and in my first session, second session, we have done the quasi contracts. In quasi contracts, we have done the finder of the goods, the right of a finder of a goods. In contract law, we did the quasi contract. And in the contract law, when we saw the different types of quasi contract, one was the finder of goods. Somebody found my laptop, and that particular person has the right to retain my laptop maybe my laptop is costing 60,000 rupees. So he had that, willingness to go to the police station and inform that this is a lawyer's laptop. She's having lots of petition in it. She's having lots of lectures in it. So I need to give it back to her. So the police helped him trace me. The laptop came back to me, but he has a right of lien. Okay, all of you? Yes, class? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
This H division is not interactive. Huh? H division is not interactive. I want all of them to be interactive. Melina, how many in our class?
As of now, we are 60.
And how many has entered the class?
Ma'am, on the participating list only we are 60, including you is 61.
So now participants are 61.
Yes, ma'am.
Now
61
you
in
don't
total.
allow anyone. Now you don't allow anyone unless and until you take my permission, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
It's already 2:10 now. Now we don't allow them.
Okay, ma'am.
Jatin and Malina, please listen.
Yes, ma'am.
Otherwise, I will take away the co-host rights.
Ma'am, you
Please
can
quit.
lock the meeting if you want.
Huh?
Ma'am, you can lock the meeting if you want.
Ma'am, we can wait for 5 minutes at least because it's 2:04. So can we wait for 5 minutes, please?
Okay, then somebody has to summarize what I'm teaching now.
Yeah, ma'am, but the problem is that we get done with our lectures at 1:30. So, by the time we reach here, it gets a little late.
Who's this? When you're speaking, please introduce yourself.
Ma'am, hi.
Or you'll have to come on screen.
Ma'am, this is Kriti here. Hello.
Those who are wanting to speak should come on video mode, please.
Ma'am, it's okay.
I'm training you the law. And it's a lawyer training you all. So be serious, please. I don't want any nonsense, and H division is not interactive. I've been sending you all the D division. Not a single one is replying, yes, we will do it. That means you all are not wanting to be serious. Yes, 5 minutes you can keep. So
Yes, ma'am.
we were talking about the right of lien. The right of lien is the right to retain the goods. So if I lose my laptop and that particular finder, last time we had kept a finder of my laptop in the class. Who was he?
Ma'am, it
Last
was
time-
me, Jasma.
Huh?
Jasma.
Yeah, Jasma. So you found my laptop. So what do you have? You have a right to lien, that is retain the goods, right? You have a
Yes,
right
ma'am.
to retain the goods unless and until I pay you the compensation, some money as gift. You will not give my laptop back. Even the police will tell me, आपको उनको कुछ देना ही पड़ेगा मैम, इतना तकलीफ उठाया उन्होंने, है ना? Right?
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes,
this is
ma'am.
lien. In simple words, lien is an important question for your exam. It has come in many, you can see the last 5-year papers. A case study comes and you need to explain the right of lien. So many doesn't write, and that's why I'm expressing it in simple terms as me and Jasma. So a claim upon a part of another's property that arises because of an unpaid debt. So there's an unpaid debt, and yes, if I don't pay the debt, that particular person has a right of lien. So last time in our class, I had explained to you pledge. Yes? I had explained pledge to you all.
Yes, ma'am.
So in pledge, I had explained somebody has don't have the money to pay the fees, right?
Yes.
So I paid 4 lakhs after pledging my gold, right?
Gold.
So the money lender has a right to retain this gold unless I pay the 4 lakhs.
4 lakhs plus the interest.
Interest also. Maybe I paid him 4 lakhs, but I did not pay the interest. So even if I don't pay the interest, he has a right to keep my gold. Okay. So that is LEIN. So in the exam or in the interview,
Ma'am,
you need, yes.
ma'am, this is Nikhil More. Ma'am, I have a question. Ma'am, if I kept
More, Mr. More, please write down your question in the end.
Ma'am, regarding lien only.
No, please write it down.
Okay, ma'am.
Please write it down and ask me in the end.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, can I give an example for right to lien?
No, I will be giving you the chance. First, let me train na.
Okay.
I'll be training you all and then you all can interact in the class. Okay? Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So lien is a right to retain. I told you when that particular person unpaid debt, it is in the definition. The contract law says it is there is an unpaid debt, and that particular person has a right to lien, right to retain. So the definition of a lien is a claim on a property as security to make someone repay the money they have borrowed. An example of a lien is a bank holding the title to a car until the car loan has been completely paid. So you can see when we buy a car and if we don't pay the EMI properly, the document of the car is with the banker as a security. So the banker can have my title document. They can even take away the car and they will give away back only after I pay the debt. Okay, so all of you understood right of lien? Yes. Can I go
Yes,
to the next
ma'am.
one?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Letter of credit. We have the letter of credit exam question for you here. In the later on stages, we will be having quiz also. So in the quiz, randomly again, I'll be asking, you need to reply. So letter of credit or credit letter is a letter from a bank guaranteeing that a buyer's payment to a seller will be received on time and for the correct amount. So if Melina is an exporter of designer wear in America or maybe London, she's exporting it. So she becomes the seller and somebody is buying over there. Jatin is buying over there in America, her jeans, her, all that designer wear. So buyer and seller is there. And therefore, one banker, who is a banker in the class today?
Natasha.
Huh?
Natasha.
For the letter of credit? For the letter of credit, we are having a banker, Jasma, right?
Jasma, yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, Jasma is the banker today, Punjab National Bank. She has given a letter of credit, and this letter of credit means that the buyer payment to a seller will be received on time and for the correct amount in case if there is a default in payment. Okay, so the bank is showing the letter of giving the letter of credit and guarantees that in case there is a default, the banker will pay the amount. So you will see the different types of letter of credit, that is in trade transactions, in business transactions. They are the commercial, export, import, yes, transferable and non-transferable letter of credit, revocable and irrevocable letter of credit, standby letter of credit, confirmed letter of credit, yes, unconfirmed letter of credit, and revolving letter of credit. We having different bankers giving back-to-back letter of credit, the red clause, the green clause, the site, the deferred payment, and the direct pay letter of credit. For your exam, the question is, maybe a short note on letter of credit. So please prepare this well, letter of credit. Okay, now you see how it functions, You all can draw this chart, please. You need to explain in the question answer session. I just now made buyer the importer. Who is the importer now in our example? Jatin is the importer. He is importing jeans and t-shirts or whatever from Melina. So yes, the sale contract is there. The seller, the exporter, that is Melina is the exporter. She is exporting the goods. There is a sale contract between the two. Their lawyers will draft the contract and deliver the goods. Who delivers the goods? Who delivers the goods? Melina will deliver the goods, right? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
The jeans and whatever designer wear, she'll be delivering it. And yes, exporter bank, the exporter's bank, that is the seller's bank will be there. We have a banker in the class, Canara banker. She will be the exporters bank, and the importers bank will be Jasma. So yes, there are two bankers here. They present the documents, deliver the letter of credit, and present the documents, send the credit. Importers bank issuing the bank. Just now somebody I admitted they have a roll number. Oh God, I didn't check. Just now I admitted someone.
Yes, ma'am. He has a enrollment number.
Please check it now. I'll not admit anyone. Please check it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. He has his
Because
enrollment
we
number.
suffered some complaint, you know. We are teaching them, we are teachers, and these behave rotten. Got me? In fact,
Yes,
we are
ma'am.
teaching in your homes. They have their mothers and sisters inside the home. Still, they write nonsense in chats. And we are lawyers attending to men who are arrested in jail. So I don't want any nonsense. I don't want any nonsense in the class. Next time, if I get any complaint, it will be very serious. Jatin, just see when we are admitting, you just speak in the class. Don't worry. Okay?
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
You have the right to speak out as a co-host.
Okay, ma'am.
Please throw them out if they don't have the number and the name.
Sure, ma'am.
So request for credit, document and claim to payments. So these are the letters of credit procedure. So letter of credit is basically someone guaranteeing the payment if the buyer, defaults the payment in that particular country. Okay. Very easy it is. When you are a banker, you have the right to issue different types of letter of credit. So there's a special relationship. Here we'll talk about the banker's right, that is right of lien. And
Ma'am,
yes,
can you go on the previous slide?
huh?
Can you go on the previous slide?
Yeah, the set off, right?
Letter of credit, the diagram.
The table, ma'am.
Come on, be fast. We have lots to be done today. And these are tougher laws. So seller, the importer bank. I'll be giving the PPT, na? I'll be giving the PPT. Just you need to get ready for the question answer today. For the next session, I'll be giving you the PPT. Yeah, so we're having again a right of set off also. So we did number one, the right of lien. We did the right of lien. Yes, we did the letter of credit. The banker has a right to issue a letter of credit. Now we're having the right of set off. All this can be short notes for your exams or maybe case study, and you need to explain the right of set off. So here, the reduction or discharge of a debt by setting against it a claim in favor of the debtor specifically, in favor of the debtor specifically, the reduction or discharge of a party's debt or claim by an assertion of another claim arising out of another transactions or cause of action against the party. Now, what is the right of set off? Set off is an equitable right of a creditor to deduct a debt it owes to the debtor from a claim it is against the debtor arising out of a separate transaction. So, for example, I want two bankers or one banker in the class. Please raise your hands. One banker in the class. Yes.
Ma'am, Kusum.
Yeah. So, right of lien she has, both general and particular. Right of appropriation by the debtor creditor. Right to, yes, charge interest and other charges. Right to set off. And yes, combine accounts of the same customer, and yes, of course, adjust the debt and balance to an account. If she is a banker, all these rights she has. So one of the important rights she has is the set off right. For example, I took a loan. Who's the person who spoke right now as a banker? Jasna?
Mansi.
Mansi?
Yes, ma'am.
Mansi, please appear on the screen.
Yes, ma'am.
Come on, you all are going to appear for interviews here in another 6 months. And when you all are my students, you need to be confident. So Mansi is a banker here. She has granted me 40 lakhs loan. 40 lakhs she gave me for my home. and 20 lakhs she gave me for my car. So 40 lakhs I took in January and 20 lakhs I took in February. And around 7 months later on, around December, I'm going to pay her some 30 lakhs. So she has a right to set off. Okay, she can adjust it in any of the loan that I am taking. So similarly, this is the right of set off. So you see over here, the creditor, the discharge of a debt, I'm paying back to her some 30 lakhs. I'm not paying the total 70 lakhs. I'm just paying her 30 lakhs. I tell Mansi that, Mansi, ma'am, I have 30 lakhs with me and I want to give away 30 lakhs. So my EMI will not be too much. You know? So Mansi agrees to it and she adjusts 10 lakhs to my housing loan and 20 lakhs to my car loan. All of you got it? Yes? So this is the right of set off. So the bankers, if you are a banker, you having a right.
Ma'am, not understood.
That's why I brought Mansi over here. She will be, the observers will be explaining once again in the class. The observers will be explaining once again in the class. Don't worry. Okay. So I'll just split it out, the definition over here. The reduction or discharge of a debt. Now what is Mansi given me? She's given me loan, right? The one who said you didn't understand, please come on the screen. Please come on the screen. I won't be replying unless you are coming on the screen. I won't be replying unless you're coming on the screen. Who is the one who asked question
Yes,
now?
ma'am. I'm there.
CR, please write his name.
Ma'am, I'm on the screen.
Now, what is your name?
Nikhil.
Nikhil. There are 10 Nikhils for me. 2 divisions.
Ma'am, Nikhil More.
Nikhil More. So, Nikhil, who's sitting there as a banker for us? Who is sitting there with you?
Her name is Mansi.
Huh. So, Mansi gave me what now? Loan, right?
Yes.
What loan she gave me? What loan she gave me? So you
Car
did
loan.
not listen. You did not
And car
listen
loan.
and suddenly you come out with the question. She gave me 2 loans. What was the loan? That's why I tell you, if you have a doubt, ask in the last end. Because people don't attend and then they start asking questions.
Okay.
What did Mansi give me? Now you explain. Look at the screen there. What did Mansi give me?
Car loan.
What is that money called? In banking terms, what is that money called? Nikhil, you have taken finance
I
or
don't
marketing?
know. Marketing.
Okay, marketing. So Nikhil, Mansi is a banker.
Yeah.
She's giving me money. What is that money called in banking?
Loan.
Speak loudly.
Loan.
Unless you speak loudly, you won't understand the law.
Loan.
Loan. Now, what is it loan for a?
Yeah.
What is a loan for a banker?
Debit.
Asset.
Asset. Okay.
It is an asset. If I don't pay, what it becomes? Asset ka opposite is
It
what?
increases.
Asset ka opposite
Liable.
is what? Huh?
Liability.
Liability. So now she gave me 2 loans. What was the loan I told she gave me?
Car loan.
And
I don't know.
House loan.
And housing loan. And 40 lakhs you paid in Jan and 20 lakh in February. So
yeah.
In
So
September,
what did I call you and
you
tell? What did I call you and tell? What did I call you and tell that I have 30 lakhs with me? You adjust
30
my
lakhs.
loan. You know? I got
And
some
like I should
30
Yes.
adjust
lakhs.
in housing loan.
So she
Yes.
has a right of set off. Okay?
Set off.
She can adjust my 10 lakhs to housing loan. She can adjust my 20 lakhs to the car loan. So that from next month, car loan EMI gets stopped. Okay? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, all of you. Nikhil, now you understood
ma'am.
the right of set off? Now
Yes,
you
ma'am.
please read out the slide. Nikhil, please read out the slide.
Ma'am, the reduction or discharge of a debt by setting
I want you to
against it
speak
a claim.
loudly.
the reduction or discharge of a debt by setting against it a claim in favor of the debtor, specifically the reduction of discharge of a party's debt or claim by an
Reduction of discharge of a party's
of a
debt.
party's debt.
Now, what is
Yeah.
she doing with my debt? She's discharging my debt of car loan. Got me?
Yes.
She's telling me, hey,
Yes.
ma'am, first we'll finish your car loan. So that car loan चा पुढच्या महिन्यापासून no need of paying the EMI. Okay.
Okay.
And 10 lakhs she is adjusting to my housing loan.
Yes.
Fine now? Now you understood?
Yes, ma'am.
You may become a
Yes.
banker next year. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So it's very
Yes,
easy.
ma'am.
You have the right. Nikhil More, the manager of, now next time you will be the banker. Okay. So
Okay,
if
ma'am.
you are the manager of a banker, you have a right of set off. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
You have a right of set off. You can tell me, ki I am going to put this money. So you are
Yes, yes.
discharging my debt. You are discharging my debt. So
Debt.
claim by assertion of another claim. There is two claims. One for my car loan, one for my house loan. So
Yes.
Mansi has a right. She's a creditor. She has a right to set off. Now you understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yeah. Because
Oh.
now on it's going to be very difficult laws. So please jot down your questions and ask me in the end.
Okay.
Yeah. Next one. So the next is the banker's right of set off. Yes. For example, Mansi, just read out the example over here.
Suppose A has taken an overdraft from his banker to extend.
So you can take me, my example. Hema ma'am has taken up
Suppose
overdraft.
Hema ma'am has taken an overdraft from his bank from me to the extent of rupees 9,000, and Hema ma'am has credit balance of rupees 7,000 in her saving bank account. The bank can combine both of this account and claim the remainder amount of rupees 2,000 only.
When you read out examples, no, take a higher amount. Okay, I'm having 20 lakhs with me, but I want 30 lakhs. So 10 lakhs is the overdraw you're giving me. Okay, because
Yes.
I'm a valued customer, Mansi is giving me 10 lakh. Yeah. Yeah. Come on, read.
The right of set off. The right of set off can be exercised by the bank if there is no agreement contrary to this right.
Contrary.
And
There is no agreement contrary. Yeah. Yes,
this
yes.
right, and afterwards a notice is served on customer intimating the customer about the banker's intention to exercise right of set off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So your IP, yeah.
If when we make a contract and in the contract I am not allowing her the right of set off, so that means contrary agreement. Okay, there is no contrary agreement, then only she will have the right of set off. Okay, now read the first para, Mansi. Read the first para.
The right of set off means combining of two or more accounts, says overdraft and fixed deposit, one of which is in debt and the other is in credit, that is in the same branch or in a different branch, subject to certain condition. A banker, like other debtors, possesses the right of set off which enable him to combine two accounts in the name of same customer and adjust the debit balance in the account with the credit balance in the another account.
Yeah, so these are the right of set off of a banker. Okay, these are the right of set off. Who is that entering now? CR.
Ma'am,
Please,
Mahima.
please, now we will not allow anyone. Please, will not allow anyone now. Only if by mistake they have gone out due to internet, and that too you need to call me. Yeah, so these are the contract of agencies, rights and duties of a principal and an agent, termination of agency, special contract. We did lien, we did set off, we did bailment, we did pledge. Yes, all of you? We did all this, right? The class?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So you be ready for answering all those questions. The question answer session will be on lien, the set off, the bailment, the pledge, the important clauses in corporate and commercial agreements. Now we will be doing. Yes, these are the important clauses in corporate and commercial agreements. Now what happens is when even in international contracts, Nowadays, because of globalization, it is opening up of the world economy. And sitting in these office, I draft contracts for international corporate firms. Okay, I draft agreements, maybe clauses for employment, whatever business transactions. Sitting here in this office, I may make tomorrow for a company in Singapore. So it's become very important. All the professionals need to draft in any contractual obligations. These are the clauses that has to be put, or in case if this is not there, and if there is a court case, then the court cannot help you. The court cannot help you. So number one is C for the confidentiality clause. Yes, when two or more firms enter into a contract, there will no doubt be a significant exchange of information. So if I am entering into a contract with Nikhil More, who came just now on the screen, he is based in Singapore. Nikhil More is based in Singapore, and we are entering into a contract. So there are a lot of confidential things that he comes to know from the other party. So there's a confidentiality clause he has to sign in order that both the parties to perform the contract stipulated obligations. So there is an obligation clause. Of course, there is a force majeure clause. All of you please listen. Force majeure means act of God. Force majeure means act of God. In contract law, we did section 56, that is frustration of contract. We had done frustration of contract, and in frustration of contract, we had done impossibility to perform the part of the contract due to unavoidable circumstances. And this is called force majeure. So you may find some legal words which are tough. That's why I'm insisting you, please jot down. Please jot down. I'm requesting the class to please jot down. F for the force majeure, that's act of God. Yes, number one clause is C for confidentiality clause. O for obligation clause. F for the force majeure clause, that is impossibility. T for termination clause. T for termination clause. When can the contract be terminated? What are the possible ways that this contract will be terminated? Maybe your rental agreements. There is a termination clause. In case you do parties late night, and in case something, music or something at 1 o'clock, maybe you're doing, it's a disturbance to the neighbors. So there will be a clause called termination clause. Similarly, in contractual agreements, in business agreements, we having, yes, of course, the force majeure clause. Finally, we have J for, in law, J is always justice, J is jurisdiction. So please don't forget when you're writing the law paper, J for jurisdiction. If there is a dispute between both the parties, the jurisdiction has to be mentioned, where the case will be held, which court we will fight it. And in case we are not going to the court, we can write an arbitrator's name. Both the parties are ready to appoint an arbitrator. The class is understanding the point? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes? Who's that entering right now? The latecomer's name, please write down separate. Jatin,
Ma'am, what
please,
are arbitrators?
I'll tell you, we are having a subject on arbitration and conciliation. We are having a syllabus, one session on arbitration and conciliation. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
I'll just briefly explain over here. In contract law, we did void contract. Who is the one who entered right now? Who is the one? Jatin?
Kevin, ma'am. Kevin Furia.
Please write down his name. He has to be there in the question answer session.
Okay, ma'am.
All those who entered after 15 minutes, their names should be written there for question answer session.
Okay, ma'am.
Come on, be strict, or I will stop my lecture.
Ma'am, written. I have written the names, ma'am.
Yeah, please. I don't have time to waste. If you all are serious, only I'll be interacting with you all. I don't want latecomers. I don't want mischief mongers. Because we are attending to serious cases where people come crying at our doorstep. So Kevin, are you ready for the question answer session? Kevin Fernandez. Kevin Fernandez.
Hello, ma'am.
Please appear on
Hello.
screen. Please appear on screen,
Ma'am, I'm
Kevin.
having a network. Ma'am,
Please
I'm
appear
having
on
network.
screen.
I am connected through my phone actually. I am having network issues in my laptop, so I will try and fix it till the question and answer round.
In 5 minutes, I want you on screen.
Yes, ma'am, I'm trying, but my laptop isn't working, so I'm connected with my cell phone.
Important clauses in corporate and commercial agreement. We were talking about number 1 clause, the confidentiality clause. Both the CRs are now requested not to allow anyone. Can I continue with my law lecture?
Yes,
Now
ma'am.
nobody will be
Yes, ma'am.
allowed
Yes,
inside.
ma'am.
Please, nobody will be allowed inside now.
Ma'am, I'm locking the meeting only,
Yeah,
ma'am.
please lock
Then
it
nobody
up.
will.
Because once we enter, allow them, no, they have all these hundreds of excuses. Okay, so we have the C for confidentiality clause. We have the yes, O for obligation clause, F for the force majeure clause, and then we have the T for the termination clause. And please write down Kevin's name. He will be summarizing this. He will be summarizing this. Dispute resolution. If there is a dispute, we need to appoint the arbitrator. The one who asked who is an arbitrator, kindly come on screen. Kindly come on screen, arbitrator. Yeah, what's your name?
Hello, ma'am. Joshua.
Josh, full name. I have 10
Josh
Josh.
Joshi.
Okay, Josh. What do you studied in the contract law? Void contract.
Sorry, ma'am.
What did you study in the void contract?
Hello.
What do you mean by void
Ma'am, in void,
contract?
ma'am, contracts are those contract which are void. Like you cannot enter. You cannot enter with that person in that contract, like with a minor. Or
Okay. Please write down his name, huh? Yeah. Yeah, correct it is. M for minor, U for?
yeah. So if a person is bankrupt, so that also is a person you cannot enter in contract with.
Yeah. So what are the 3 kinds of things? Minor contracts, unsound mind, D for?
Yeah. And D for I don't know the words, ma'am, but I can explain the meaning.
Declared and insolvent.
Declare insolvent. Declare insolvent.
What did I
Yes.
tell you in the beginning of the class? If you have a doubt, you write down, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So you don't know the earlier sessions, and how will you know the arbitrator?
No, ma'am. I know. I have written
Okay, what is
everything, ma'am. I
restraint
can
of
send you the
trade?
notes
What
also.
is restraint of trade, Josh? What is restraint of trade?
Man, restraint of trade.
Ah,
Ma'am, just a second. Ma'am, can I get back to you
no,
during
you asked
question
me
and
what is
answer session?
arbitrator. I need to
I have in
explain what's an
notes, but I
arbitrator.
have to check.
No, first you explain to me now. What is restraint of trade?
Ma'am, I have to check just a second.
What is restraint of legal proceedings? What is restraint of legal proceedings? Can anybody in the class explain to him? He's asking me what is an arbitrator. He don't know what I taught earlier.
Ma'am, I know restraint of legal proceedings.
Yeah, please come on the screen. Now listen, Josh, she's explaining. Don't search.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
restraint of legal proceedings means that certain things can be mentioned, like date can be mentioned, or time can be mentioned, the place can be mentioned where the
No, this
exchange will
restraint
be
of
taking
legal
place.
proceedings. Legal proceedings का meaning क्या है? What do you mean by legal proceedings?
Ma'am, in case of breach, in case of breach of
Why
contract,
do you come to a
people
lawyer?
can move to the court.
Why do you come to? Correct. Yeah. So
In case of
restraint of
breach of
legal
contract, ma'am,
proceedings.
we
What
can
is
go to the
restraint?
court for jurisdiction.
Yeah. So if there is a complaint, or if there is a breach, or if there is a dispute, the court has to be mentioned in the contract, है ना? If it is Mumbai court, the Mumbai High
Yes,
Court, the
ma'am.
Mumbai Sessions Court, the jurisdiction of the court will be Mumbai, right? So what is restraint of legal proceeding? Agreement and restraint of legal proceeding I taught in contract law.
Ma'am, it's like you cannot sue the company if
Are you cannot put a clause where you will not go to court. Can
yeah,
you put a clause that we will not go to court?
no, ma'am.
But what is the exemption that I taught that day in contract law?
Novation of contract.
No. Restraint of legal proceedings is void. But if there is a clause that we won't go to court, but we will appoint Advocate Hema Shirodkar as the arbitrator, then it is fine. Got me? Yes? So appointment of
Okay.
an arbitrator in case a dispute arises is allowed. Okay? Fine,
Okay, ma'am.
Josh?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You
Got
need
it.
not go to court. You're marketing or
Okay, ma'am.
finance? You're
Ma'am,
marketing or
finance.
finance?
Finance, ma'am.
So you're going for an interview
Finance.
tomorrow and
Yeah,
you're
okay.
joining a company.
Okay.
Anika is the boss over there. You fought with her.
Okay.
Which court you will go, the jurisdiction is there in your contract. Okay? You
Yes,
can't
ma'am.
take the matter to any court. And
Yes,
if
ma'am.
in your contract, she's writing that we will appoint an arbitrator. We won't go to the
Okay.
court, we'll appoint an arbitrator. Okay? So
Okay.
arbitrator is a person appointed. It's like a quasi-judicial authority. Like a judge, I will resolve the
Okay.
dispute.
So he will resolve the dispute for us. Correct?
Yes, I will sit as an
I'm a doubt.
arbitrator.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay? So
Okay,
this
ma'am.
you don't know
Okay,
because
ma'am.
you didn't listen to the contract law. Now you
Ma'am, I
need
know.
to now you
Recollect.
need
I have
to
to recollect.
explain next session the entire concept today I did. Kindly
Okay,
write
ma'am.
Josh
Sure.
Joshi's name.
Definitely, ma'am.
I might have a
Yeah.
doubt.
Now please your doubt later on. Please your doubt you write down. Okay?
It's related to this situation.
No problem. You write down it. Write down. And what's your name?
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
What's your name?
Ma'am, Navneet Chaudhary.
Navneet
Chaudhary,
Chaudhary,
ma'am.
please, the CR write his name and his question. Now these are the employment
Ma'am,
agreements.
your voice is breaking.
Okay, the one observer who has prepared an employment agreement, speak on this. The observer who has prepared an employment agreement.
Ma'am, Muskan here.
Yeah, Muskan, come on, start fast.
Ma'am, employment contract is a contract.
Yes. What happened, Muskan? Okay. Employment contract. Can the class listen to me? Hello? Hello, Jatin?
Hello, Jatin.
Ma'am, you are on
I
mute.
guess she's here. I guess she's here.
Ma'am,
Ma'am is muted. Somebody unmute her, ma'am.
Jatin Malina, you are the host and co-host.
yes. Just give us a second, please.
Ma'am, you are being muted, ma'am.
Speak now, Muskan. Can you speak to the class?
Ma'am, your connection was lost and you were on mute, ma'am. Nobody
But
was able to
Muskan
hear.
can continue, no? Why do you have to depend on me? Muskan can continue. Yes, Muskan.
Yes, ma'am.
Why am I training you all?
Okay. Employment contract is a written document between the employer and the employee of company, which defines rights and responsibilities between the two. It's generally made for management or senior level employees who are involved in business strategies and have access to sensitive information.
Yeah.
The terms of employment are the responsibilities and benefits of a job that both employer and employee agrees upon before hiring. These include job responsibilities, the working hours, dress code, vacations, sick day leaves, starting salary, and many other. The employment contract should also specify what actions
Can you all see the screen? Can you all see the screen?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Yeah, continue, Muskan.
Okay, the employment contract should also specify what actions can result in termination of contract. Each employee should know what actions can result in dismissal and what activities are mandatory for an employee to perform. So, for example, like in corporate and commercial agreement, there is confidentiality clause and dispute resolution clause. Here we have termination clause. So we can take an example of a termination clause. You have the right to get paid for the work you done, and the employee has the right to give you instructions what work you have to do. So these are the few examples that can be taken for employment contract.
Yeah. So these are the conditions. Now, can you all see the screen?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay, the co-host. I think so. The co-host ने कुछ गड़बड़ किया है यहाँ पे. Hello.
No, ma'am. Ma'am, you need to share your
ma'am.
screen, ma'am.
But now you made me the host again.
Ma'am, your connection was lost, so I was made the host, so I made you host once again, ma'am.
1 second.
Yes, ma'am. So you need to share your screen once again.
Okay, continue, Muskan.
Ma'am, done.
Okay, the next portion was to be done by which one? Second one, the obligation clause. Who's the one speaking on obligation clause? The liquidated damage clause.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, speak na. Come on, I told you if I get disconnected, you need to handle it.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, speak now.
So liquidated damages
Yeah.
is a clause.
First, to
specified
introduce your name,
three-
Niloy. Introduce your name.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Niloy. I'll be talking about liquidated damages.
Yeah.
A liquidated damage clause specifies a predetermined amount of money that must be paid as an damages if there is a failure to perform under a contract. Which that amount can be estimated by the employer party at the time which they feel is best to their valuation at the time of signing the contract. and most probably employers generally have an liquidated damages clause in the contract, and such clause provide that in a case of breach of contract, uh, uh, suppose if there is a delay in some delivery or something, so liquidated damages will be imposed as a consequence, and it is covered under the section of 74.
Yeah, so yeah, just explain once again. Just explain once again.
Liquidated damages clause specifies there should be a predetermined amount of money that must be paid as damages if there is a failure to perform a contract. Hello.
Now, can you all see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
So what did you want? What did Niloy spoke now? Speak properly, Niloy. Why did I train you?
Ma'am, I said the definition already. I'll go again once again. Liquidated damages clause specifies
I
that
told
there
you to
should
give
be
an
a-
example to the class.
So I gave an example. See,
Tell
if
me the
there is
example
an-
once again.
if there are two parties getting into a contract and the party delivering
I
certain
asked you
goods,
to name your friend as a party. How will the class understand if you all don't take examples properly?
okay, ma'am. So there are two parties. Suppose I and Jatin are getting into a contract, and Jatin has promised me that he will deliver certain goods to me before next Friday. And if he, I insert a clause in the contract that if you do not deliver me the certain goods that I have asked for until Friday, so you have to pay me suppose 10,000 rupees.
So
as
what
damage.
is liquidated damage? What is liquidated? A pre-estimated money amount. है ना? A pre-estimated money amount in your contract कि समझो breach हो गया तो 5 lakh Jatin will give you. है ना? Yes?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
हाँ, so speak like that ना.
Ma'am, I exactly spoke like that.
Okay. So fine, now I'll properly explain to the class. Liquidated damages. See, you all have to score 40 में से at least 38, 39. The
Yes, ma'am.
internal marks at least 40 में से you need to score 38 to 39. So unless you speak properly, I cannot give you all. I cannot give you all. Your score will go less. So when we talk about liquidated damages, it means a compensation for the breach of contract. It's a compensation for the breach of contract. Please write down, class. C for compensation. An estimated money amount is written as penalty. Like in case there is a breach, 5 lakh, 10 lakh, 20 lakh will be paid. Example, in construction, reconstruction or redevelopment or construction contract, there is a clause which says that if the builder doesn't give it us on time, if the builder doesn't give us on time, he has to pay the penalty. Okay, he has to pay the penalty, and that is
Okay,
the
ma'am.
liquidated damages. All of you understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Niloy, you will be coming in the end to summarize it properly, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
Yeah, so liquidated damages are a means of compensation for the breach of contract. However, the purpose of liquidated damage cause is not to punish the person that breached the contract. It is an example that Gerald has agreed to purchase Rita's home or whatever home for 50 lakhs. As part of the agreement, he must put down a deposit of 5 lakhs. So in case later on stages, if the agreement doesn't take place, then he will lose that particular amount. So liquidated damage clause specifies a predetermined amount of money. So third point you have to write is a predetermined amount. First point is, it is a compensation for breach of contract. First point is, it's a compensation for breach of contract. The second point is, it is pre-estimated. Beforehand, it is estimated in the contract clause. कि अगर breach हुआ, तो this will be the amount to be paid. अगर construction time पे नहीं हुआ, so this will be the liquidated damages.